Is the lighting good? I know the lighting's probably horrible. I just finished reading A Court of Mist and Fury, and I don't feel like putting lights. I feel like I just need a vent. So here I am. So I just finished reading A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, and oh my, I probably look like a mess. There's like, I didn't set up lighting or anything. I just wanted to come on and vent about it because I feel like this is the raw emotions right now. I'm a mess after reading, and this is all real. I thought I should just come on like right after I read it because that's when all the like the feels are flowing, you know? And that's probably the best time to talk about a book because everything's still sort of fresh and you still feel the adrenaline, I guess, from reading. And this book, oh my, the ending. If you don't know what this series is about, let me explain. So, A Court of Thorns and Roses is the first book in this. I don't know how many books there are going to be, but the next book comes out next month. But A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's sort of a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but it really drifts away from the whole retelling thing, so don't worry if you're not into retellings, because I'm definitely not into retellings, but I really liked it because it wasn't really much of a retelling, I guess. So Feyre, the main character, she's a human, and there's the Fey world and the human world, and there's a wall that separates them. Feyre ends up killing a Fey, and she gets in trouble for it, and the Fey go looking for her to get revenge, I guess. Like the story of Beauty and the Beast, they take her to the castle, and I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, and then it sort of follows the Beauty and the Beast storyline where, you know, Beauty falls in love with Beast and everything, but then it totally drifts away with this, like, new plot twist that happens, like, 3/4 of the way through the book, I think. And it just, the plot definitely went somewhere that I did not expect it to go, I guess. It was great. The first book was great, but then the second book. Okay, so it was really weird. When I was reading it at first, I thought about this, but there's no like major climax in this book, I guess. It's like a lot of stories thrown into one. I don't know how to explain this. Like, stories usually have like one big bad, one big climax where they try to beat, and like just one journey to beat that climax, to beat that conflict. But this one, it was half of the book was like sort of one conflict and the other half was another, which I thought was really cool because this is like a 600-page book, so kept me on my toes, I guess. The ending is sort of a cliffhanger, and that's all I'm gonna say for now because I really don't want to spoil anything. But these books are amazing. If you haven't read these two books yet, leave now because I don't want to spoil you for anything because I'm about to vent. Okay, so come back after you've read it, which you totally should read it because I gave it like 5 out of 5 Goodreads stars. Oh, but be cautioned, I went into it thinking it was like YA, which I think it is YA, but it's sort of borderline NA, new adult, because there are like steamy scenes, okay? A little too many, you know. It got awkward to read at times, especially in the second book. There's a whole lot more steamy scenes. There are a few in the first book though, so just beware of that. Besides that, amazing reads. This is YA fantasy, action, romance, everything I love by non-spoilery people. Continue if you've already read it, or if you want to be spoiled, which I don't know why, but some people do. Okay, so bye. Okay, so let's talk about this because I literally finished reading this like 10 minutes ago maybe. Okay, so first let's talk about Rhysand. Okay, so throughout the whole first book, I've pronounced it Rhysand, which it's spelled R-H-Y-S, you know, it was Rhysand, right? No. After the first book, I saw like the pronunciations at the back, it's Rhysand. I'm like, what? So throughout like half of this book, I was like saying Rhysand, and I'm like, no, it's Rhysand, Ada. And I'm like, okay, but I got it down now, yeah. So after reading the first book, I was like, I really liked Tamlin, you know, because I was like, oh, but no, he's not that bad, you know, he's just trying to protect her, but then Rhys, for half of this book, I liked Rhys, but I was like still really conflicted between him and Tamlin, even though I know Tamlin like was horrible to her, you know, everything, but he did it for love, I get that, but it was still like horrible. But I don't know why I still like Tamlin. But then Rhys came in, and I was like, I love their like Rhys and Feyre's relationship where they just like banter with each other. I find that's hilarious, and I love that. And then I loved meeting like all the characters, all Reese's friends. It was like Cassian, Azriel, Moore, Amryn. They were hilarious. I love them all, and I love like the little relationships within that little group too. I kind of wished we saw more of Lucien. I pronounce it Lucien, but I think it's supposed to be Lucien. Whatever. Lucien and Tamlin, because we didn't really get to see them until like the last few chapters of the book, which I was like, oh, what's been happening with them? And then her father. I really thought that like either the Spring Court took her father or the King of Hypern took her father, but no word of her father yet, so guess not. Okay, so I was sort of spoiled. I mean, there's so many spoilers on Instagram, it's maddening, okay? If you haven't read it yet, you kind of get spoiled that Rhysand and Feyre, something's gonna happen between them because all the posts are all shipping Rhysand, you know, Rhysand, damn, it's still happening. So yeah, that part I was sort of spoiled at. And I also saw this other post where it was shipping Lucien and Elaine. So when I got to that part, I was like, I was still shocked, you know, when he was like, you're my mate, and I'm like, whoa. I love that. I don't know if Cassian and Nesta are gonna be mates because there wasn't anything that like clicked between them, but while Nesta was still human, Cassian like sort of developed feelings for her, and there was something going on between them, which I like them together, you know, it's a whole bantering thing again. And then Moore and Azriel, yes, they're adorable. I know like they don't really show much feelings for each other. Something's there, and I like them. They're cute. And then Amryn, we're still like, she's still sort of mysterious, so I think the next book we're gonna find out more about her, and that'd be awesome. I mean, like, she drinks blood, so you'd think she's a vampire, but I don't think they have, like, vampires there, so. But she can, like, make people see things. I don't know. Excuse the weird lighting. I'm, like, frazzled right now. I don't have time to set up lighting. It's, like, 9:30 at night, and I should be doing homework, but books are more fun, okay? Books teach you great life lessons. Like, you know, first love is not always the last love. I don't know that. Chapter 54, okay? My friend Jess, she told me about chapter 54. She was like, tell me when you get to chapter 54, and I'm like, okay. And then I got to chapter 54, and it broke my heart. So if any of you have read Shatter Me spoilers right now until this image disappears, if I can figure out how to do that. But yes, mute it until this disappears, because I'm gonna do some like crossovers between Shatter Me and this book. So yeah, if you haven't read it yet, wait until this disappears, starting now. Okay, so I drew like parallels between the Shatter Me trilogy, the beautiful Shatter Me trilogy by Tahira Mafi, who's pregnant, by the way. Like, congratulations to her. That's so cute. Her and Ransom. Oh. Okay, but yeah, I drew parallels between the two. Adam is like Tamlin, okay, like, for the longest time until the third, like halfway through the third book, or maybe not halfway through, the beginning of the third book. But Adam, you know, I loved Warner, don't get me wrong, I love Warner, but Adam, you know, because he was like the first love and everything. That's how it like felt in this. So Tamlin was like the Adam, and then Rhys obviously was like the Warner, and you know, Juliet's Feyre, all the other side characters. So Cassian, Lucien, Moore, Amryn, and Azriel, they were all together as Kenji, which we all love Kenji. Like, I drew that parallel, I'm like, whoa, mind-blowing, just a little. Okay, so welcome back. Go read Shatter Me if you haven't read it, it's amazing. It was really difficult for me to read the beginning of A Court of Mist and Fury, ACOMAF, that's how you say it, ACOMAF. Like, you know, for a whole, like, first book, we fell in love with Tamlin, and then to see how, like, all that is changing, and he's not as he was before, it was, like, really difficult to read, you know, and, like, to see her being trapped in the castle, feeling trapped, feeling hate, basically, towards him. And seeing the wedding go through, and they're all like unhappy and everything, and he's just using her sort of in a way. It was really sad to read. And then freaking Rhys just swoops in and saves the day. But you think he's a villain, but he just has great intentions. And I wouldn't call him an anti-hero, not anti-villain, anti-hero. Because he's the hero. He's not an anti-hero. People just think he's the villain. And I love how their relationship develops. He never forced anything upon her. He let her be free. He was like basically the opposite of Tamlin. But yes, like I was saying at first, there were like a lot of steamy scenes in the second book, and it's a little awkward for me to read those. And I was watching Jesse the Reader. There was this video where he was talking about books he hasn't read yet, and ACOMAF is one of them, because he was fearing all the steamy scenes, and I agree with him. You know, if I could just skip them, that I'd be fine with that. But I don't like skipping through anything, you know, because I feel like you miss stuff when you skip stuff. So I read through it, but it was a little awkward. Now I kind of want to get a tattoo, just like my list of tattoos is ever growing. I swear I'm gonna have a sleeve one day. Ooh, we got that one chapter of Reese's point of view, and I'm wondering if the next book's gonna have his point of view. I'd be okay with that. The battle that went down at the end, that wasn't really a battle. I did not, well, of course they had to end it like that, I guess. It's sort of a cliffhanger. The sacrifice she made, that was an epic, like, when the bond severed, I really thought their bond severed, and I was like, what? You can do that? But then it wasn't, and they're like plotting, and she's the spy now. I'm like, oh my god, what's she gonna have to do there though? Like, seeing her like have to pretend to love Tamlin, I feel bad for Tamlin, you know, that's what it is. I just feel really bad for him because he loved her, but he loved her too much, like Reese was said in the book. He loved her too much, which was a poison. Yeah, and then Lucian, he just goes along with whatever Tamlin says, because I don't know if it's fear or loyalty or friendship, but he just goes along with it. But now him and Elaine are like mates, so that might, and like you can see Lucian doesn't believe what Feyre's saying at the end, so they're definitely gonna, I feel like they're gonna form some kind of bond. Because I have hope for Lucian. I still have hope for Tamlin too, but I don't know, man. At Hypern, Tamlin, like, he wasn't okay with transforming Nessa and Elaine into Fays. I don't know where he stands in any of this. Oh, freaking Ianth. Is that how you pronounce her name? That priestess. She was, oh, she got on my nerves. I don't think she got to Tamlin, though. Oh, and Cassian's wings. Oh, this was just 600 and whatever pages of pure greatness. 624. Ooh. You see, I come on with, like, I have so much to say, and then I say nothing because I don't know what to say. Oh, I bookmarked a lot of, like, costume ideas, so I might design something based on it. I'm not sure yet. Let's try to find some quotes. There are good days and hard days for me, even now. Don't let the hard days win. Great quote. The issue isn't whether he loved you. It's how much. Too much. Love can be a poison. No one was my master, but I might be master of everything, if I wished, if I dared. This is the quote that I've been seeing like everywhere, and now I want to get a pillow with it. To the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered. I have a weird fascination with like stars. I really love stars. I don't know why, I find them really beautiful, and words can't describe basically. Oh my god. Amryn and Moore told me that the span of an Illyrian male's wing says a lot about the size of other parts. I love the jokes in this book. They are hilarious. When you spend so long trapped in darkness, Lucian, you find that the darkness begins to stare back. These books aren't that quotable, I guess, compared to some other series I've read, but I mean, they give a good message. And there are some, like, quotes that I really love from them, but the story was just beautiful. I can't wait till the next book comes out. Why does it have to be in a month? I should have started reading these later, so I wouldn't have to wait and feel, like, this hollowness. Like, just let me wither in the corner for, like, the next month. The next book I will be starting now is Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, also because I was like, why not, you know, might as well delve in. I like her writing style too. I don't really know how to like describe writing styles, but when I like read, I either like it or I don't. I mean, most of the time I've liked it. Once you start reading, you just get a sense of an author's writing style. I can't really describe what it is, but you just know it. And I really like her writing style so far, so I hope I'll love the series, because my friend Hannah, she really likes it, and so I really hope I'll like it too. And there's a lot of stuff on Instagram about it too, so hopefully every time I see like a post that was like talking about ACOMAF, or I just like quickly scroll, I like the picture and then quickly scroll away because I'm like, no spoilers, but I still get spoiled. It's hard. I feel like I probably have more to say, but I just, ooh. Let's see if I quoted anything in this book. Oh, you see, like, Tamlin wasn't a bad guy. And, like, the history between Tamlin and Rhysand, it does make Tamlin look like a really bad guy. You know how he, like, killed his family, and then he killed his family, and the families are both dead. And then I love that part when they were, like, they both, like, felt the power of, like, being a High Lord enter them, and then they stared at each other, and then Rhysand just, like, bolted. Oh yeah, whatever happened to Alis, the servant? You never heard of her again. I didn't really bookmark that many on this. So tell me what you thought of this series in the comments below. I know, like, I looked on Goodreads and like it was almost all 5-star reviews. Because it's that good. So yes, tell me what you thought of the series below, because I know a lot of people have read it already, so I'd love to know your guys' opinions. and thoughts and like what you think's gonna happen in the next book and who you ship, who you don't ship, who you like, who you don't like, just everything. Let's start a rant. Oh, something went off. Let's start a rant. I would love to make like a book trailer or something for this, but there's probably a lot of special effects, so I don't know. But I will think about it. But I am planning some stuff, so watch out for that. My spring break's about to come up finally. It's next week and I'm so excited. More reading, more costume making, more filming, and I'm excited. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. Comment if you want to comment, please do. Feel free to leave any suggestions, like video suggestions too. I'm always looking for those. And don't do any of those if you don't want to do any of those. And remember to read, because a reader lives 1,000 lives. Bye.